Hey, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. You're listening to the longest running superhero role playing game on Earth, also known as the Continuum Chronicles. As always, I'm your host, Chris Kent, the Game Master, and today we're going to be talking about Wonder Woman and her long lost twin brother, Jason. But before we get into that, smash the like button, ring the bell so you know when I upload stuff, and make sure you're subscribed. We have a great community here, and it's all thanks to you guys. So thank you so much for being here. All that said, let's dive in. The epilogue to today's adventure takes place in the 6th century BC. Diana and Nubia are the twin daughters of Hippolyta, Queen of Paradise Island. They're searching for their long lost brother, Jason, named after the famous Jason of the Argonauts. Diana and Nubia have an alien artifact called a Lancinarian morphing crystal, which can shape into any item they may need for their journey. Right now, it has assumed the form of a ship. With them is Dagda, the Irish god of love and former king of the Tuatha De Danann. For years, Dagda and the daughters of Hippolyta sailed the Mediterranean Sea. Thanks to the mists of youth that surround Paradise Island, none of them have aged a day. Then we get into the main plot of today's adventure. The daughters of Hippolyta find the last will and testament of Glaucus, one of the legendary Argonauts, and the man who raised Jason. Glaucus left everything he had to Jason, and thanks to this will, the Wonder Women finally find their long lost brother. Jason is working as a fisherman on a fishing boat in the Aegean coast when they find him. As soon as they meet, they can all sense their connection, immediately recognizing their sibling ties. The Wonder Women brought with them a special costume made just for Jason. It looks quite a bit like the He-Man costume, with golden wrist bracers and a golden chest harness. But whereas the He-Man costume has brown trunks and a red Iron Cross logo, Jason's costume has blue trunks and a red star symbol. He's given a golden headband as well as a pair of red boots. And just as it is with his sisters, all of these things grant him the same powers that they have. When Jason meets Dagda, Jason hits on him. Dagda is heterosexual, though, so he politely turns Jason down. So Jason says, "Your loss." Dagda feels like Jason's last comment was a bit rude. Diana tells Jason what Paradise Island is like, and Jason tells her and Nubia of the man who raised him and how he never aged, thanks to an herb he ate while he was a crewman on the Argo. Jason also reveals that he always knew the Wonder Women existed, but he never reached out to them. They're surprised by this. Nubia asks Jason if he has a husband. Jason says he's had many lovers, but likes being single far too much to ever get married. Once he gets all the answers that he can out of Diana and Nubia, Jason says, "The appointed time has arrived." They ask what that means. Jason says, "It means, Wonder Women, that all this talk has been little more than a facade, a lure, like when I go fishing." He tells them that they are nothing more than strangers to him and that he's done fine without them until now. He says they might share the same blood. There's someone else he feels much more of a kinship to. Just then, a portal opens and Melanoy flies through. She punches Diana, saying she is the princess of the underworld, the daughter of Hades, a nymph associated with nightmares. As she attacks Diana and Nubia, Jason uses the new Wonder Man costume that his sisters gave him. He punches Dagda with a strength of 45 APs. He substitutes his martial artist skill of 23 for his dexterity of 20. So that means Jason needs to roll a 13 or higher to hit Dagda. He rolls an 11, so it's a swing and a miss. Dagda, in turn, tries to punch Jason in the mouth. Dagda has a dex of 26, so he only needs a 7 or better to hit. He gets it, and it's Dagda's strength of 50 versus Jason's body of 16. So Jason takes 28 points of damage in one shot and is knocked out. Dagda declares he is not entering killing combat. Instead, he just removes Jason's golden belt, headband, wrist bracers, etc. Likewise, Melanoy fights Diana and Nubia and loses. Diana punches Melanoy, and the knockback damage sends her into Nubia, who hits her, and that knockback damage sends her back to Diana. So basically, they're playing tennis with the Princess of Nightmares until she's knocked out too. Jason and Melanoy are taken aboard the Lancinarian morphing crystal, which is currently in the shape of a ship. Diana uses her telepathic bond with the crystal, and it shapeshifts into an invisible jet big enough for everyone to be transported back to Paradise Island. Slaughter Island is still here next to Paradise Island, and unlike Paradise Island, Slaughter Island has no rules about men setting foot on its soil. So Jason is imprisoned here in a Roman-style holding cell. When he wakes up, he meets his mother, Hippolyta. He asks her if she's going to execute him. She says no. Hippolyta tells Jason she loves all her children and that his mind has been poisoned by the lies of Melanoy. Speaking of which, Melanoy is also imprisoned here, and the Amazons get to work trying to rehabilitate both of them. Which brings us to the epilogue of this adventure. The next morning, Diana and Nubia wake up. Their heads are on Dagda's chest. The daughters of Hippolyta get dressed, and all three of them eat breakfast on the beach. Diana says she's frustrated. They spent all that time searching for Jason only for him to end up attacking them. So it just feels like such a waste. Nubia says she feels the same way. But Dagda says the three of them spent all that time together, and they had fun, exploring, having various adventures, and he's kind of sad that's all over now. Diana says it does feel strange being back on Paradise Island again, and it no longer feels like home. Nubia says she was never here long enough to begin with for it to have ever felt like home. Dagda suggests maybe they just keep sailing around. Maybe the point wasn't the destination. Maybe it was the journey. Diana likes the sound of that and is interested. Nubia is sad, though. She sees how heartbroken Hippolyta is that her only son is such a disappointment, and Nubia barely knows her mother. So Nubia decides to stay. She wants to know her mother, and she thinks her mother needs her. Diana says maybe she'll stay too then, but Nubia tells her that she's spent plenty of time on Paradise Island growing up, and maybe it's time for her to leave the nest. It's a difficult decision, and different people have different feelings about it. Hippolyta is sad that Dagda and Diana are leaving, but she's happy to be spending time with Nubia. Diana promises she'll try to visit more often. The Amazons throw a festival celebrating their loved ones, and the next morning, Dagda and Diana set sail. And that was it for that game session. We had fun playing it. We hope you had fun hearing about it. As always, smash that like button, make sure you're subscribed, ring the bell for notifications, and be sure to leave us a comment as that really helps out with the YouTube algorithm. We hope you guys have a great week, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.